we live in a crazy world where you get the payoff right at the beginning of the video, but if you stick around, you'll actually see the journey that I went through to get there and how I actually filtered out the rotten flesh and stored the golden nuggets on this 12-tier system. Hello everybody and welcome to the next episode on the Cornerstone SMP server. In the last episode, we made this magnificent church converted into an armor enchanted book trading hall. And this was a super fun build to put together. I mean, it's simple. I didn't overly detail out at least the outside. Kind of simple, but it works. I kind of like it. And the inside, you know, we splash paint these around and it just looks nice. But the one thing that almost completely ran me out of supplies was getting these guys converted down to 1 emerald trades. And let me show you what we ran out of. So this is the extent of my gold supply, and let me show you what else. Well, we come down here into my villager converter area and take a look at the supplies. So basically kind of have this brewing stand basically to get splash potions of weakness and just to keep some supplies to keep that going. But you see the problem here. I've got the gold. I am completely out of apples. So there's basically 2 things that we need because we're going to run out of this gold really quickly. So upstairs there was 10 villagers that I converted all the way down to 1. Half of them I did down to 3, and all of the protection guys I did 4 times. That is a lot of apples and a lot of gold, so we need to fix that problem because all of these guys, with the exception of maybe 2 of them, need to be converted down. I've got a line of more villagers over here, just sitting kind of waiting. And then I've got all of these guys up here that also need to be converted. None of these guys have been converted, so all of their stuff is really high. I mean, look at this one, power 5 for 64. So yeah, today we've got to solve that problem. So one way we could get apples is from chopping down oak, and obviously it can't be on this way because you need the leaves to decay, and this kind of bulk setup minimizes the leaves that actually drop. So we'd actually have to spread that out and do an individual. You could also get them from dark oak, and that's probably where most of my apples came from, but I think there's a better way. So the other way of getting apples is to come over to the farmers, and at the apprentice level, and get pumpkin pie and apples. So this guy doesn't have it. This guy doesn't have it. Let's go take a look at our last farmer that we have over here. Yes. Okay. So we can get apples. Okay. There we go. So I think our apple problem is solved. I spent a couple of minutes trading with that guy, and yeah, we're good on apples. But there's one more problem. I'm out of gold now. So we need to solve that problem. So the first thing that we need to do in order to make a gold farm is to get above the bedrock. And I've never done this, so this is going to be the first. But what I understand is that you got to be in another waste, and that's where we'll, you know, basically build the farm to get the piglins. And there's a couple different ways to get on top. So I've seen this technique where you do a half slab and you throw the pearl in there. And then the other one is just to put a ladder all the way up and throw the pearl there, and you should actually be above it. So, well, you know what? We'll try that technique. But before we do that, I've got a bunch of safety measures here. So within this box, I've got materials to make a portal like obsidian and the flint and steel. I've also got an ender chest. There's flint and steel in there and obsidian. And when we get up there, we're actually going to place some dynamite and stuff. So I actually got a blast protection on here. And so yeah, I got a bunch of measures. And if it all else fails, I guess we can put stuff in the ender chest and somehow manage to kill myself. But anyways, let's go for it. A little hesitant since I've never done this, so. Okay, so that didn't work. So the one thing we got to do is make sure that that's at 127, and that block is 127, so I don't know if I'm doing that one incorrect. So let's try this method. Hey, there we go. Yeah, so we're up here. That's amazing. So the good news is, if there's a portal over there, at least we can have a way back, but... Alright, so I didn't quite mark out this block, so before we do anything, let's... What edge am I on? Alright, so that's the block that we're going to have to blow up. And of course, since this is my first time, I forgot one thing. I would need to put a trap door right here. And I have no way of even making them because I didn't bring any of my wood boxes. So, and that's why we did a little bit of a backup. So I need to make a portal, go back, and get some supplies. The good news is the portal actually came out in an area, and I kind of suspected this would happen. Oh, that was a fail. We are super close to my Christmas map art, so I mean the portal is just there. So we can get back to the nether roof if we need to through there, but the good news is that I can get back by coming over here. That's cool. So we got way back in case this fails again. All right, so this is the configuration in order to break bedrock. And you want to have extra TNT, extra levers, and extra pistons because sometimes this fails. And I'm not going to use a macro, but I may have to switch over. Oh, and extra trapdoors. So the one thing that we want to do is put our blast protection on, and I'm just going to go through my elytra into a safe spot. Alright, so the idea behind this contraption for breaking bedrock is to flip this switch and then get underneath here and then span click this. So this is my first time doing it, and what I've learned is that we actually kind of do a trial run here. Is that if you're too far this way, the piston, if I can get to it, is going to push you out. So you need to make sure you over here, and then you want to get underneath and then go to click that corner. So we might fail a couple times on this, but let's go ahead and try this out. And I know there's other methods, and I've heard they're actually better, but I'm just going to try this one first. So, okay, so that's good. Hey, and it's the wrong spot. Alright, so we're back at this area, and I think what happens when I threw the ender pearl, it probably put me in the block next to it. I really needed to write that down, but learned from my mistake. So we're at, and I'm going to write it down, 4, 4, 2, and 1, 2, 6. I mean, that's actually negative, but we're figuring it out, though. Like I said, this is the first time that I've done it, so go ahead and click. Get underneath here, and I don't know if that worked. Better. Spam click. Not spam click enough. We're running. We have got a couple more attempts here. Let's end up one over here because that piston's been pushing me out and causing problems, so. There we go. All right, well, it took a while, but now we got it. So now we can actually move on to making the actual farm. I wonder if this is going to trigger anybody. I'm going to have dirt corners. That's right. So one thing I was thinking is that if this is spawnable, let's do that before I kind of forget it. Hey, little buddy, are you lost? What is even going on here? Just random bees on the nether roof? Does somebody have a bee farm up here? Okay, I'm very, very, very confused now. Look at them, they're just scattered everywhere. Oh, that is hilarious. All right, in order to make sure that I don't go over into this basalt delta over here, I kind of mapped out roughly where it's at. So it's basalt on this side and then nether waste on this side. So you need to make sure that you stay within the nether waste. And this is going to be 20 by 20. So as long as we stay on that side of it, we'll be perfectly fine. So what I'll probably do is set up my storage. Oh, now it's probably fine. We could probably just set up storage right here and then we can go up with it. And maybe I want this to be on the outside of it. So yeah, I've got to figure out exactly where I want this. We come up this ladder. Yeah, we can go off this side. All right, one of the things that we need for this gold farm is turtle eggs. And I'm by, and I think it's Zinji's because his volcano is kind of over there. And I think I remember seeing this in one of his videos. So I'm going to borrow his turtles here. So I mean, pretty much you just feed them some kelp or seagrass, sorry. And I already bred this one, so there we go. So what has happened is I've gotten 8 turtle eggs. I probably won't do any more than 12 layers. I may not even go that far. That's a lot of magma blocks. I think I have enough for about 5 layers right now, but I'm going to get 12 eggs anyways. And I'm just going to keep breeding these guys up and I'll be right back with you. Alright, I've been out here for maybe 5-10 minutes. It hasn't been really that long, and we got 15 turtle eggs, so that wasn't pretty easy. A lot of the batches were 4, so it didn't take that long. So here you guys go. You can go do some more. And then we can get some more turtles around here. Anyways, for whoever's this is, I think it's Sinji's. Thank you for loaning me your turtles without you knowing. Alright, so we're way up here on top of the nether roof. And I've got this started. So I'm going with design by Logical Geek Boy. It's nice and simple. I'm hoping that these hoppers will not back up since we're basically doing just a line per. I was going to do an item filter, but I may do that later. So for now, we're just going to do this and hopefully it won't back up. And hopefully this is going to be enough chests, but you can't exactly see it up there. So let me change that at least. And we'll turn the fog off. So there we go. So kind of got a basis of this going on. And we'll go up there here in a second. But the funny thing is I originally picked this spot with fog on, but well, somebody else is here. I think that is Z Fighters, but I don't exactly know. But the good news is if we turn on a despawn sphere, which is centered way up there, we can go out here and we can notice that it's completely, his is completely out. It's not even close. So we're good there at least. So let's go ahead and get up here. And I'll turn off the sphere here in a second. Actually, we'll go down here. All right, so the spawn is right up there, and that is all the way up. You can't even place another block there. And this is the roof. So in order to save on glass, we can do a spacing of every 3 and gas won't spawn, but magma will. So I'll probably fill this in, but I wanted to at least show you that. And then the drop chute is going to be a 5 by 5. And I have mapped out here 12 layers. I don't know if we'll get that far, but we'll see. And so basically the layers of magma blocks are going to be every 3 layers. So you can see I got 2 dirt blocks in there. And if we go down here real quick. So this will be the magma layer, and an egg is going to be actually on this layer right here. And then the drop chute will be here, and I did not grab any magma. Totally unprepared here. I'm running out of space. So, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so there's the drop chute. And what's going to happen is that the magma blocks, and we're going to solve that problem here in a second, but magma blocks are going to go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in each direction. And you can kind of see I already have the glass roof over it. And so you got to go out 10 every single direction and then fill it in. And then here in the middle, well, this is going to hurt. Here, let's solve this problem real quick. All right, so what's going to happen here in the middle is that we'll have... And that's going to become a real problem. And that one doesn't belong there. And actually, we probably could put that one up there. But the general idea, and I don't want to remove that yet, is that we'll put trapdoors in these locations. Don't really need them in the corner so much. Alright, so you get the general idea. So the piglins will actually think that they can get to the egg because of these trapdoors. And they'll try to go for it and then drop to their death. And then these extra ones around the eggs are actually to protect it. And what I'll probably do is take this one step further and put one in this position. Yeah, that looks good. So once we're all done with that, we will actually take out this block here. And the reason why we do that, and the reason there's no glass right there, is that in order for these guys to think that they can get to the egg, you need 2 air blocks above it. So this one and that one. And so that layer is going to have 2 blocks above it. And then we just kind of place these all around so that we can protect it. Yep, so there we go. So it'll kind of look like that configuration. And then we're going to continue that all the way down. So when we're up building the platforms, the magma is going to burn our foot. So there's one thing that we need to do. We need to put Frostwalker on our boots. And I don't always want to run around with, Frostwalker boots. So I'm going to take another pair that I have, and I just realized that we're going to be losing fire protection. So you know what? I'll probably make another pair. And I'm going to put Frostwalker 2 on it so that we don't burn our feet trying to do this. And I really don't want to, have to crouch the entire time. That's going to ruin my pinky. So yeah, that is how we're going to solve not burning our feet on the magma blocks. It's funny, I was about to put these boots together and realized you cannot do Depth Strider or Frostwalker. It's mutually exclusive, so you can only have one at a time. So I need to make another pair of boots, Because I'm pretty sure depth strider, every single one of my boots, with the exception of maybe we can do these up. Well, there's a fire protection one. Here we go. So I'll have to go make a new pair of boots in order to put the Frost Walker on. Yeah, good to know. Oh yes, this thing is absolutely magnificent. And there's one problem. No matter what I do, nothing will keep up. So the problem with this one is that everything funnels down to this one single point. And I'll show you where that goes here in a second. So the original one that I had was basically, I don't know if you can get the idea here. Had chests side by side and each one led into it. So it was a little less of a pinch point, and we had, what, 5 wide. So I need to come up with a different way, because this is not going to do it. This thing fills up way too quick. This one with 6 levels, I never got to back up. So I need to come up with a good way, and here's the other problem, is that oh, yes, and there's more. It's just way too much. So I need to filter that out and get rid of it. I was going to put some villagers up here to trade it away, but it's more of a nuisance than anything right now. Basically upstairs, all of those guys funnel down into one spot here. And I just got an item filter here where I filter out all the flesh and then I filter all out of the gold. But the problem is this isn't a pinch point. I thought it would have been, but upstairs is the pinch point. I've been AFK for about an hour up here, and I wanted to see how this new system is working. So let's see how backed up this thing is. That's amazing. So it's just barely even behind and it catches up. So that is awesome. And this thing is filtering perfectly. Ah, yes. Found the spot he spawned on. I guess these are spawnable. Never really thought about it. I know redstone isn't, so what I'll probably do is just cover up these guys, and we're probably all good now. If I see another guy up here, I'll cover this stuff up, but from what I understand, I know at least redstone dust is non-spawnable. I gotta check into these two. So yeah, this is doing quite amazing. I love that it catches up because I spent a long time trying to get this down so that we could get the items moved quick enough. Alright, so let's take a real close look at this. So there's nothing really special here, but so if we get up top here, all of these hoppers are just flowing this direction into this dropper. And each one has its own line. There you go, that's probably a better shot right there. So you can see all of them are flowing this direction. And then I tried to put this filter here, but if something lands on top of it, it was actually getting past it. So we just have 5 hoppers, and that's kind of the drop chute. And then right underneath the one on the outside is just a normal standard filter. And then that flows all the gold nuggets down. So we're filtering out all the gold nuggets, and anything else just continues on to the dropper, and the dropper goes into lava. So I found this one, and I forget exactly where it was, but I'll try to get the link into the description. But it's literally just if one of these has an item in it, it lights this redstone up, which goes into here, which basically lights off the dropper, so it drops it in. And I like this because it was tileable. I've seen some like double dropper or double speed droppers, and they're big and bulky, and I needed this thing to be tileable, single wide. But yeah, this is enough to keep up with a 12 tier system. Probably the worst thing I hate about this system is the fact that you have to craft all this stuff. And I wish we had an auto crafter. It would be amazing. Because not only you have to turn this into ingots, afterwards you got to turn it into blocks. I really haven't done that much AFKing, and I've done that much, so I'm not complaining too much. For those of you who stuck around to the end of this video, you guys are epic. Leave me a comment down below. And if you're not subscribed yet, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this content, leave me a like. Until next time, see ya!